If you like talking,
Women.
Ladies,
men,
topic,
Conversations.
and occasional uninformed politics,
multiple talking women is for you.
Hit it! Hey ho, everybody. Welcome to Multiple Talking Women. I am the producer, Paula Gherkin.
I'm one of your hosts, Felicity Bramblebush.
And I'm your second but no less valuable host, Lana Brown. And we are here today with somebody who probably has the most impressive IMDb.
It's a lot of
It's a
things on
mile
there.
long.
153. I just
And
counted. Did you know you have
I can
153 on
talk?
there? Sure, you can talk. Yeah.
Ken
really? Yeah.
Marino.
Ken Marino.
Ken
153.
Marino.
Yeah, you have 153 things on there.
Wow.
That's what she was doing. She
Stupid.
was on her phone, and I'm like, "What are you doing on your phone?" And she's counting your freaking.
Well, because,
credits.
you know, we've been told as...
How did it be 153?
I don't know. You did a lot of
You
stuff.
tell us.
people
That's
want you.
Bizarre.
And
No,
you
but
know
I
why?
just don't even understand how. Like, I don't remember doing that.
That's because you're working on your craft and you're focused. You're
I
not
guess.
thinking about numbers.
Or I'm
they'd
losing
be-
my
they'd
mind.
be-
No.
Yeah, that might be part
Slowly
of it.
deteriorating
We all are.
from the
Well,
inside
Mindy
out.
Sterling had something on her IMDb that she doesn't recall ever being a
She
part
thinks
of,
it's a
so
mistake.
Yes.
So maybe you have a couple mistakes
it might
on
be.
there.
You might
Feels
want
like
to
I
take
have
a
100 mistakes.
All right.
No. And the thing about Ken Marino is that he can play. He's so versatile, but he always has that Ken Marino zing in there.
What is that?
It's just kind of a magic. It's like
Oh.
It's
there's
a
a
magic.
comedy, there's a
There's a dryness.
satire.
You've got a
Yes.
dry comedy. Have you been told that?
Well, I've been told I've got a zing.
As-
If
oh,
that's-
you have?
If that
He was just told that a couple seconds ago.
moments ago.
Moments ago.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something stable that feels stable about.
It all comes from a stable place.
Yes. Well, some comedians make me very nervous. I don't feel nervous around you.
You feel
At
like
all.
you're in a safe place.
I do,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
Well, that's what I try to do. I try.
I
to
feel a little
create
nervous
a safe environment.
because he's smart,
Oh, smart guy.
and that's hard.
I feel like I've met my match.
oh.
I'm very smart.
Smart,
No?
so we'll be all right.
Oh no,
All right.
you're very smart.
I can't believe you haven't said anything about this yet, but you got great skin.
It's true.
You know, I have a a nightly routine.
Do
that
you
I
really?
Sure.
Would
What do you
share
put
it
on
with
there?
us?
What do you
What's
put
that?
on there?
Would you share it?
Because
Would I
it's
share it?
because
Sure,
it's
of course.
luminous.
But I know
I'm,
why.
I'm actually not kidding.
He's
it's great
of
skin.
Italian blood.
Yeah, I got
you
an oily
got-
T-zone.
Mediterraneans.
Yeah, I got a really shiny. I'm probably shiny right
You're
now.
not at all shiny.
I
The
wiped
oily-
it down
you
right
know
Where
what?
do
before
the
I got here.
Marinos hail from?
My father is from Sicily.
Oh,
Oh no,
gangsters.
my father's father was from Sicily. My father's mother was from Rome, and then my mother's side is Italian in there. There's some Ukrainian.
Okay.
Okay,
stuff,
okay.
yeah, so it's all
Do you
over
ever
the
go back
place.
to the homeland?
I've been to Italy. I've never been to Sicily.
Wow.
Have you?
I just went.
And what did you do?
Sicily?
Well, I was at the Amalfi Coast, and we boated around.
Well, so not Sicily, but Italy.
Don't act like you were there when you weren't.
Well, I was close.
Okay, well,
I
that's
saw
different.
it. It's an island, right?
Yeah,
Sicily?
you probably see it from
I
the
saw
Amalfi
it.
Coast.
I saw it from the
perhaps,
Amalfi
yeah.
Coast.
Why haven't you been there?
I've been to Italy 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But I went to the the
Touristy
boot. I went
places?
to the
I
boot.
think
Oh,
you should
okay.
have a Stanley Tucci style show where you
I do
go
too.
around
Yeah.
and taste
Find your
foods.
Well, and also find your people. You've
Find
got,
your
You've got
people.
you've got relatives there, probably.
Or what if it's a show where I'm like trying to find Stanley Tucci, and I'm always like one town
Where's
behind,
Stanley Tucci?
and I'm like, and I keep showing pictures. Have you
They're
seen
like
this
he
man?
was here having gelato earlier.
I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
every
like
man
all
looks like this
They
here.
show you-
Crumbs of Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
I am. You are one of our last podcasts of the year.
Is that?
It's true.
Sorry, did I?
Oh.
Did I
No,
do
you
that?
didn't cause
That's a
it,
good thing.
but it's one of our
Oh.
last ones. And so what I'm telling you is that I'm a producer and I'm going to be looking for work. So if you want someone to produce that looking for Stanley
Looking for
Tucci, I'm
Tucci.
available.
Yeah, yeah,
looking
let's
for
do it.
Tucci.
Tucci.
All right,
Looking
great.
for
I've
Tucci.
got a job lined up.
I mean,
No.
we just need some backers. We need some money now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's easy for
That's
me.
easy to come by here.
Yeah,
Easy.
I've got
So
lots of dough.
you were born in New Jersey.
No, not at all.
What do you?
No, but I was born in the tri-state area,
Whereabouts?
Long Island.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I mixed it up.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Which is wrong.
It's sort of the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
Slightly different accents.
See, this is why I don't do research.
oh.
It's better to not do
It's better,
research.
and then you just you tell us everything, and then I don't have to do anything.
Big family,
Tall? You mean like they're all tall? No, they're just regular size.
regular size.
You're tall.
you.
How about in numbers?
Oh, No, not a big family.
Okay.
She has 12 children.
I have 12 children.
Oh, what are their names?
Caleb, Mindy,
Oh.
Frank, Zephyr,
Oh.
Shirley Temple, Galapagos, Clydesdale, Serena, Venus, Lorraine,
Okay.
Todd, and Mark.
And what? There's a third. You're missing one.
Oh,
No, I counted 12.
I got 11. Yeah.
Oh.
oh, Snake. Did I say Snake?
Oh, you
Yes.
didn't
No, you didn't say
say
snake.
snake.
How did you laughed when you said Venus, though. Is Venus like the funny one?
She's a card.
She is.
She is the funny
Or is she a literal card?
Wow.
one. Sometimes I wonder. She turns sideways and I can barely see
Oh,
her.
so she's very thin.
But
She's
that's
very-
on
She's
purpose.
two-dimensional.
That's on
Yeah.
purpose. She likes her children
I
thin.
do. I keep them thin.
When you have 12 kids,
Mm-hmm.
you never know what you're going to get.
Thank you. You really don't.
So it could be, I mean, at 12,
It's
I
a
mean,
lot of wild
it's
cards.
so many different, a lot of wild cards.
That's right.
She has
Venus
one
being
that's
of them.
one's famous.
One is doing very well. He's a cracker model, and
He models crackers or he models for a cracker
he
company?
models for Pepperidge Farm. He's a cracker model. He's a cracker boy. He's the face of crackers.
He's the face of Petridge Farm crackers?
Yes.
Oh, my
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah, if you could Google crackers, he shows up.
That must be tough for him. And when he comes, do you see a lot of paparazzi?
Tons. At the market.
But what's really tough is that her other kids, she lets them know they're not the special ones,
Sure.
just the cracker models.
Well,
Sure.
to-
There's
'cause I
Venus, Todd. Is that Todd? Is the
That's right.
and then a snake must be.
Snake was a mistake.
He was. He was.
I know.
Yeah. He doesn't know that though.
Well, I mean, you don't make him
It's
feel good
probably
about himself.
Pretty
Now,
obvious.
Right,
did
anyways.
your parents make you feel good about yourself?
You know,
If you're comfortable.
my parents, I'm comfortable here.
Good.
good.
It's a good
and
share.
I'm comfortable to
Good.
tell you.
Good.
My comfortable parents.
Yeah.
My parents were always supportive of me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And I grew up on Long Island in a town where it wasn't. There wasn't a lot of like actors or performers, right? Like you usually in sports. So, so it was very nice that I had parents who were very supportive. My mother would take me into New York City. We'd take the Long Island Railroad into New York City for the half-price tickets, TKTS.
How did that even start, though? How did you know? Oh, I like watching theater. I like
Did you have
doing
the
that.
bug?
Yeah, did you have the bug at a young
I got the
age?
bug. I've been chasing the dragon ever since. Basically, my sister and I were we went to this Methodist church.
Okay.
And my sister and I won we got to go to a summer camp on Shelter Island for a week.
Shelter Island. Oh, God.
And which is
Love
like
it
the Long Island like forks in both
I've
ways, and
been
then it's right
there.
in the middle there.
Oh,
And so what did you do there?
I vacationed there.
Oh,
Oh.
with all the kids?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they have a nanny. We brought a nanny.
Of course.
Yeah. So
Of
I don't
course.
lay eyes on them, but I knew they were there because I paid for their plane tickets.
It's costly.
Her
It
husband's
is.
a senator. He makes loads of money.
Oh, who's your husband? I'm so sorry.
Roderick Bramblebush.
No, I'm so sorry that your husband is Robert Bramblebush.
Yeah. It is not a good
See,
thing.
No,
he
he's a
knows-
terrible
he knows,
man,
He
terrible
knows. He is.
politician.
Thank
Yeah.
you. He knows.
We know.
But-
I stand by him.
But I would have a beer with him any day.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah.
that's great.
He's a man
I
of the
haven't
people.
traveled in America a lot, but as you know, I'm from everywhere. My ethnicity is from every single continent on the earth.
Is that where the accent comes from?
Totally. Yeah. Because I've lived in certain places and some of it's from the blood. People say they can't figure it out. And I'm like, that's because I'm from everywhere. But you've got this nice East Coast, yet metropolitan energy.
Whoa. Excuse me.
But he hasn't finished his story yet.
I'm trying to hear more of it.
Well,
Oh, right,
it doesn't
okay.
sound like it. Sounds like you're going in another direction. You were on Shelter Island at a camp.
Yeah, went to camp, and long story short, we had to do a play at the end of the thing, and it was the prodigal son. You know the story of the prodigal son, right? There's the dad, and he's got the two sons, and the one son stays with him, and the other son goes away. The father gives half his money to one and half his money to the other, and
Okay.
one goes and splurges it, and then spends it all, and then it comes back and apologizes, and the dad has a big party, and it's a big thing. And I got cast as the prodigal son. And because I clowned around a lot,
there
and
you
so
go.
so in the play I was being a
You
fuck up.
were getting laughs.
Yeah,
I bet.
and but so the day of, I got stage fright so much that I locked myself in the bathroom. And my sister, my oldest, who's 2 years older than me, talked me out of the bathroom.
How old we talking now?
I had to be, it's either second or third grade.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Third grade, I think third grade.
That is scary.
That's young.
I feel like that's heavy material for a third grader. Right?
Yeah, and then, well, it was a church camp. What other stories are they going to tell?
Yeah.
And my sister talked me out of the bathroom, and then as soon as I got in front of everybody and started acting, I would hear people laugh, and so I've been chasing that dragon of people laughing.
Feels so
ever
good.
since. But it took me until about last year. I was like, wait a second, because I was like, this whole time I'm like, I guess I was kind of funny. Hey,
Yeah.
But then I realized that I locked myself in the bathroom, and everybody wanted me just to get out, and so they were probably, it was like. They were just laughing.
Pity laughing.
Yeah, it was pity
Yeah,
laughing.
let's make him feel good.
Last
or
year
else
you
he'll
had
go
this
back in
thought?
the bathroom.
Yeah, it just hit me.
I can tell you from watching your stuff, no, you're funny.
No.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you probably had that natural thing.
Yeah, you
That
did.
natural funny.
So you got the bug. You're saying, "Mama, take me into the city."
That's
gotta
it.
I gotta go
gotta
see
see
plays.
I gotta go. I gotta. This is what I gotta do. This is a fun thing to do. And so we would go we would go see plays, and I did stuff around town, and that's
Stuff
it.
around town, Long Island, or stuff around
stuff
town?
around town on
Okay.
Long Island.
And at
I
what-
never did it professionally until I graduated.
Graduated high
High
school
school-
or
college.
Okay, college. Where'd you go to college?
NYU.
Oh,
Okay,
for
so-
acting.
Yeah.
So now I have to, this is where I have to chime in because I grew up in a very
You act like you haven't chimed in yet.
well.
You've been chiming in the whole time.
I'm chiming in, but I have to chime in on how I'm a big fan of yours, actually, because I grew up in a very small religious home, and we had one TV, and we weren't really allowed to watch it, but I did sneak it to watch a program you were on called The State, and
The state. Well, that's where I met NYU. I met all those state members there.
Wow.
oh, I love that show.
Did you have to audition?
The state was for all your viewers. The state was a sketch comedy show that was on MTV
Yep.
from 1993ish to 95, and I met all those people in that group at NYU, and we did shows there. We formed a group there.
Boy, I thought that was funny because the Saturday Night Live, of course, that's funny and it is his thing. But The State was something deeply funny to me.
Thanks.
It hit your funny bone in a
different
way. Yeah.
in a different way.
I think Saturday Night Live can be hit and miss, let's be honest.
Well, we were young. We were very young, and so I think a lot of people who watched it kind of could relate to the show because we were all basically their age. We started that show immediately out of college, and so we were all in our, we were
Early 20s.
21,
Yeah.
22.
And you were raw. Like, you didn't have a lot of, like,
Yes.
should I do this?
We
You just
didn't
did
know
it.
how it was done, but we just did stuff that we thought was
made you
funny
laugh.
and made each other laugh. And we're like, well, if anybody gets this, that's great. And we got this opportunity to do this show. Which
Was it on
ridiculous.
MTV? Was that right?
It was on
Yeah.
MTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of fart stuff? Is that funny for your early 20s? Like, what kind of stuff is funny for early 20s?
We did do a fart
guys?
thing, but we did like when we did a fart joke, we did we did a split screen of it was called highbrow, lowbrow, and one side of the screen, Tom Lennon comes out and tells a very sophisticated joke, and then on the other side of the screen was me, basically, looking at a whoopee cushion, thinking it was
Right.
really funny, and then at the end of it, sitting on the whoopee cushion. So you got to choose what you wanted
What do you
want to
laugh at?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can choose lowbrow or you can choose highbrow.
got
It
it.
was dealer's choice.
Great. I love any kind of fart humor. And I know
farts
you do
are
too.
funny.
Farts are funny.
Hilarious.
Who is it? George Carlin said, farts are funny. Farts are great. They're shit without the mess.
That's right.
Ugh, yeah.
George Carlin,
it.
the great George Carlin.
There you go.
So you all right? So when you get the state, is that something you auditioned for, or you had already, you knew that
He
they were like,
created it.
you were like, no, I know, but like, is it? Are you just like, we're going to do this, or were they like, all right, now we wrote this stuff, but we got to now populate the cast?
No,
or
I
it
was
was
not,
the people
we
who
all
were,
we all auditioned for this the state.
Oh, okay.
There was a comedy group. Do you know Mo Willems?
Yes,
Sure.
Who writes?
We met him here.
Yes.
Yeah, don't let the piggy drive. Don't let the
Stampede.
pigeon drive the bus. And Piggy and Elephant.
Yep.
So he was a year older than myself, or I think, and he had a couple of years, and he had a sketch group at NYU called the Sterile Yak, and David Wayne was in that group, and this other guy who's in the state, this guy named Todd Hollebeck was also in that group, and then Todd didn't like the hierarchy of that group, or he just
Oh,
wanted to break
right.
off. There were too many people. I don't know. Everybody tells different stories, but
Of course.
basically, Todd broke off and auditioned to start his own group that was more of had a democratic kind of everybody's got
I like that.
a vote, and so on each sketch, which was great in theory and actually was really wonderful for the group, but also very time consuming because then
Everyone's kind of voting and
everybody has
going
to
this
vote.
or
You have to
that,
go
yeah.
back and you have to kind of debate. But I was friends with Todd. He was he lived on my floor first year, and then so he's like, oh, I'm auditioning for this thing, and I was like, oh, great, that'll be fun. And he goes, just come to the front of the line because I'll just let you come in. And I was like, oh, great.
Oh.
So I came to the front of the line because he was my buddy.
Yeah.
And I went in and I auditioned and then I left. And then, because it was a lot of people a year younger.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
And so he like gave me senior.
Seniority.
Yeah.
But now you
Oh,
had
that's nice.
you were training at NYU and you were getting this classical training, I imagine.
I went to the Lee Strasberg Institute.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know
So
what that
it's,
means.
I don't know
What
if
is
that's
that?
classical. It's like, it's a method act.
Check off.
But you weren't necessarily learning comedy. It wasn't comedy school.
No, not at all.
But you were already a funny person.
Naturally.
Well, I mean, we can go back to the prodigal
The
son.
prodigal son.
Apparently,
So
the person who was in charge of
He knew.
the third graders really saw something
He saw
special.
something.
in me.
Yeah.
So that's what you tapped into.
yeah.
I tapped into that.
Yeah.
No, but we all grew up with SNL, watching SNL, and so that was to get to do some sketch comedy in college was such a fun kind of extracurricular activity. But then it really just became the state was all that I gave a shit about. I took my acting classes and that was great also. But like all the other stuff that you're supposed to do in college, I don't remember any of it.
Well, because the whole reason you're doing it is to do what you were doing. So
Right.
what's the point? I'm
Right.
doing it already.
But I never thought I was going to be a comedian. Or
Oh.
like I never in my head I never was like I want to do comedy.
Got it.
I just wanted to be an actor because of that
Yeah.
Moment.
church camp.
Yeah.
So but then the state
Can I
goes.
say something real quick?
All right.
All of a sudden, we have a big red clock.
That was there last time too.
Okay, but I would just want to tell if anybody's making anybody nervous, it's making me very nervous.
Then don't look
The
at
big
it.
red
look at
clock
it.
is?
Yeah.
Put this pretzel.
Why?
In the minutes.
Don't
We
look
got
at it.
time. It's just
We can
fun.
do whatever we want.
Okay.
Sometimes when I have like a digital clock like that, like if I sleep over somebody's house or
Yeah.
and it lights up the room,
Yeah.
and all I do is I turn it down. You just
Oh.
flip it over. You don't have to look at it.
Okay.
Well, it's for me because I'm the producer and I like to see where we're at.
Okay, so
So
I'm not
she's-
going to worry about
Yeah,
it.
Don't worry about
Look
it.
at it.
To me, it's like, you got to do good in this many seconds.
Yeah,
Okay.
sort of.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. So you do
the.
the state. You do
Yeah.
that for a couple years. Is that right? 2 years? 2, 3 years? How long?
Well, the state was all through college.
Oh.
And then we got our own. We got to do a show.
I mean, once it was on MTV.
Well, we got to do a show that Jon Stewart was hosting. It was
Yes.
called "You Wrote It, You Watch It."
Oh, right.
And
Yeah.
we somehow finagled our way into that, and we're like, we can just produce and hand you over like fully produced bits.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, and we're like, we'll show you. And then we,
You
gave
just
them
did it.
like 3 or 4, and then they were like, oh, okay, yeah, you could keep doing that. And so out of that show, which wasn't terrific, but I think our sketches were good, and Jon Stewart
Yeah, for sure.
basically
He did
shined.
okay.
He got his own talk show on MTV, and we got our own sketch show.
Wow.
Your sketches probably had something to do with his success as well. It bolstered him.
I don't know. I
Symbiotic.
don't know. I mean, Jon Stewart
never know.
is doing just fine.
He's doing
Well,
okay.
you're very humble.
So do you?
You go ahead.
So you're doing the state. You're on MTV. You did the Jon Stewart thing. Do auditions come because of that, like during the same time, or are you can only focus on doing that and
The
then
state had
how does that turn into
pact.
more?
We had an understanding
Oh.
that nobody was going to audition or do stuff outside of the state.
Wow.
It lasted until we stopped getting paid to do
Yeah.
the state. But when we were on MTV, we committed to each other. We were 11 people. It was this 11-headed monster, and we said, if nobody will do outside work. The state is the thing.
Okay.
And so that was great until then we got this deal. We wanted to leave MTV, which was silly of us. But we got this deal at ABC to do basically to compete against SNL. And it was like this crazy deal where like a bunch of people at William Morris that I never saw before and I never saw after, like really the big shots, came out and took us out to dinner and we were smoking cigars and they were giving us like expensive whiskey and this is incredible. We had this incredible meal and like
it's all happening.
we
You're
got
like,
this
this is
deal and we're
it.
like this is incredible. We got this
Yeah.
deal and then weeks passed, and more weeks passed.
And had you already walked away from MTV? You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
done.
We said
Holy
we're done.
moly.
So
Yeah.
we left, and MTV
Yikes.
wanted to give us like 20 or 30 more episodes,
Oh, God.
and we're like, no, we're gonna do this other thing, and then for a brief moment, we thought, okay, we're moving on to the next thing, and we're gonna be like doing shows late night against SNL. This would be really interesting. If I remember it correctly, and I think that's how it went. And then and then months passed, and then more months passed, and then they're like, you know what? We're not closing the deal.
Ooh, Lauren
And I was like,
having it.
what?
Lauren would not let that happen.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
They didn't want
and
any
so
competition.
so then we're like, well, we left MTV. You
Find
You
us
guys.
something.
help us.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll find something. So at the time, Mad TV was on Fox. SNL was on NBC.
This is the 90s?
This is the 90s.
Yeah.
So all that was left was CBS. Maybe UPN.
Sure.
I think that might have been
Yeah.
around. But
Channel 11.
so we got a one special deal to for an hour special
Oh.
for CBS.
Okay.
And with success, we could do another special, and then with success with that, they would give us that we would talk
Maybe
something
more.
else.
Okay.
We did one special. It was the state's 43rd and final Halloween special. We called it, and they put it on Friday night after picket fences.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
And so we were on at 10 o'clock on Friday night on CBS. So nobody who knew us on MTV
Who's gonna watch that?
No.
knew about it, watched it. There was a TV guide came out with all the Halloween special TV guide, and it would talk about like Roseanne, Roseanne the wore a Halloween costume, and so that was a special Halloween episode. We actually had a Halloween special. It wasn't mentioned in the TV guide. So we were our ratings were the only thing we beat out was a show called Dweebs on UPN.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
And so that was
jeez.
that was basically
it.
the end of the
Yeah.
state for TV.
Wow.
But it's like people on the outside. We're learning because we're trying to
They're
get
trying to break
trying to
into the
break
business.
break in because I want gift bags filled
you
with
want you
Free
want swag.
things,
Do you get swag?
swag?
Have you gotten swag over the years?
Yeah, over
Yeah?
from time to time,
Yeah,
of course.
okay, sure.
I mean, I've been to
Nonchalant.
Sundance Film Festival.
Oh,
Oh,
Sundance.
Yeah,
Okay.
nonchalant.
Yeah, I'd love to
Wait,
go over
but-
there.
but you want what do you want?
Creams and lotions and things. I
Salve.
want
Yeah.
free stuff.
You love lotions.
Any kind of ointment, cream, salve, whatever your wife, by the way, who's gorgeous, uses because she's perfect face.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Okay.
probably doing the same nighttime routine.
Probably
Yeah,
both of
probably.
them.
Yeah, we basically just like rub
Yeah.
lotion
rub
on
each
each
other
other's
down.
face.
Mirror.
Sure.
They mirror each other.
Sure.
When you were at MTV, quick question: were you partying with Slash and
Yeah. We're,
Cobain?
yeah. Were you partying with musicians?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, we were always
You were
sort of
your
the
own thing.
outsiders. In
Yeah.
fact, and then they would have like, the MTV Music Awards.
Yes.
And we'd be like, can we come?
Can we go?
And then we'd have to like finagle tickets, but it wasn't like we were invited. We never presented an award. We never did anything
Interesting.
like that. But we did go to some of those.
Yeah.
But we did do a thing on You Wrote It, You Watch It, where which Slash is in, and we do a Slash impersonation in our show because MTV insisted that we do music.
Right.
Sure.
Parodies.
Parodies.
Yeah.
And we were like, we don't want to do that. And they're like, well, you have to. And we're like, okay.
Well, people think that stuff that's on TV, like this Halloween thing didn't, you got one.
You can watch it on YouTube, though.
Yeah, we're going to
I'm
watch
gonna
it.
watch
Believe me, it's going to be Halloween. Everybody, please watch this. The State's 43rd
Yeah, but it's
And
going to make
final
fun.
Halloween
final
special.
Halloween special.
Halloween
Everybody,
special.
this is your Halloween
State.
to do.
Yeah.
But it's not really up to. It's like some people, your fans might not be watching picket fences, so they don't see it. It's like all these people we're learning control this industry. They control what you watch, and it's not honest.
Yeah.
It's not
I'm
honest.
angry.
They're so
about it.
angry because, but listen, this has nothing to do with why you two aren't working. And let's be honest, it's no, there's
Have you had any bites? Any success in
No,
any?
I had
No.
one audition.
She
I
had an
used
audition
all
for
my
a-
cream, Vaseline.
she
Vaseline.
was so
Verizon commercial.
so shiny because she thought, well, I'm going to be very moist for this audition,
Yeah,
and
that
it was
seems like
insane.
Maybe just a little bit, like just a little dab of
I'm
cream.
learning.
We're
Yeah.
taking classes in a church basement.
Yeah.
Honing our craft.
Yeah.
We are planning to audition for the Groundlings.
Are you? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
'cause we have a
Oh,
lot of-
that's a great place.
Yeah, we hear about it.
Meet a lot of those people.
But a question: Are you taking classes as you hope to be a team, or you like?
Oh no, just
No,
to,
no, I-
just to we
Individual.
get sides. We get sides from like Webster.
Oh,
They
so
don't
sometimes you're
understand.
competing against each other
Yeah.
for auditions.
But in class, we get sides from, we've done a
to-
scene from
from
Webster,
Webster.
Family Matters,
Mr. Belvedere.
Mr. Belvedere, things like
Would
this.
you mind just give me a taste of like just a little bit of the scene
Sure.
from Webster?
Yes, yes, absolutely. We know
sure.
this one.
I don't want raviolis for dinner, ma'am.
Well, you're going to have it because your parents were killed because your father was a football player and he was killed on the field, and that's why Mr. Papadopoulos adopted you. So
I'm gonna go hide in the dumbwaiter now.
and that's it.
Wow,
That was that. You did good with that accent.
solid.
It was the woman.
Yeah,
And
the
he was
woman.
adopted at Webster, right?
Yes, but it's interesting that within the scene, Mr. Papadopoulos was named. You named the actual actor who played.
Well, we really like to do it that way, you know.
That's what we like to do.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know why they gave her that role to play, but maybe it's in her wheelhouse.
Yeah.
We're trying. So we're in awe of you because, like we said, some of my favorite shows, of course, are Children's Hospital and Party Down.
Yes.
And I love
Mine
seeing you
too.
pop up in even Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like all these other things.
Well,
but
my question is, so you do the state, 11 people.
Yeah.
How many jobs since then
Oh.
have to do with that group of 11? Meaning
Jeez.
someone else who went to do something else said, hey, come over here and I'm doing this show. Like,
Well,
is
I
there
will say I don't
connections?
know what the number is, but I will say that that group of people, that was sort of my boot camp. That was
Yeah.
like those are the people those are my, as the kids say, ride or die
Ride
or
or
whatever,
die.
right? Those are, and so we all enjoyed each other. We all appreciated each other. We kind of taught each other, what was funny.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways. And so whenever we get a chance to work with, whenever I get a chance to work with my brothers or my sister and
Yeah.
in that my comedy brothers and sister, I want to.
jump at
Whenever
the
I have
chance. Yeah.
power to bring them into something I'm
Yeah.
doing, I am, I want to do that. And so we've always been kind of working with each other in smaller batches over the decades now that
Yeah, it's
we've
been a while now.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to ask you a question because you say, you can bring them into a project, let's say, if you're working on something.
Mm.
What are the chances you would ever ask either of these two to come on to a project you're working on?
Well, look, I'm watching. I always have my producer hat on.
Okay.
You don't see it; it's
Great.
small.
yeah.
But I'm watching them, and I'm seeing like, oh yeah, I can. Maybe they can.
There's things you could use them
I
in.
can use them in
Interesting.
certain.
I want to play
projects.
a hard-hitting journalist
Okay.
Okay.
in a
All right.
drama.
I'll keep that in. Oh, in a drama. Okay.
Because dramas, you see them on the red carpet, they get tons of swag bags.
Yeah, and they get a lot of lotions.
Tons of lotions, and I hear also for some big movies they get diamonds.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that. I've never worked on
Diamonds
big
and
movies.
wine coolers and things.
Yeah.
And if there's ever kind of like a Gone with the Wind reboot made for TV.
I think they're working on that.
Okay.
You
and
could
if
play
I can
the-
get in on that and I have any power, I definitely
love
will
it.
bring you
Thank
into
you.
the
That's
fold.
nice.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Right.
that.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if any of
How
this
did
comes
you
to
get
fruition.
this guy? Because he's like big time.
Yeah,
How did you get him on the
How did you
show?
meet?
I was doing some work on his yard.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I do
I know you installed a
topiaries.
pool for
Oh, you do
No, but this was, I
topiaries.
was doing topiaries over there.
topiaries.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanted, I forget what you wanted them in the shape of.
The just all Richard Kynes, just a
That's
bunch
right.
of Richard Kynes.
Yeah, that's right. So
Keeps
that's
it
what I
like
did.
light and fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it keeps it
everybody loves
fun.
Richard
You
Kynes.
can't help but be in a good mood.
And then during the holidays, you could put a little Christmas
Put
hat
some
on
lights
it.
and hats on
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
on Halloween,
Yeah.
you give him some fangs.
oh, it's
But
fabulous.
Yeah. So I said, hey, he was he was taking out his checkbook to pay me for
Oh,
the
his
Tobier, and
checkbook,
I
yeah.
said, just come to our podcast.
Right.
And so he owes me one, and now here he
Oh,
is.
Well, he's
Wait.
really delivering.
So I don't have to pay you now.
Nope, you're here. This is
Oh my
this
gosh.
is it.
Yeah,
This
we
is great.
appreciate
It's
it.
great.
Because it's a lot of work.
10.
It was a lot of
10
work.
Richard Kind.
10 Richard Kynes
Well,
surrounding
I'm
my
not
house.
done asking you for things.
Oh.
Oh.
There may be stuff coming down.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to keep an eye on your
The tip of
IMDb
the
for
iceberg.
things that are in
Oh.
production,
Okay.
and I may reach out on one of those.
I did hear you mention when you got in here that you're wearing your son's shoes, so I was worried about you for a moment.
My son has a lot of these like shoes that because he was working at a skateboard shop, and then he would come home with new shoes, and
And you have the same size feet.
He's grown out of these.
Oh,
So he gives them to daddy.
So now I get to wear
Wow.
them. He's 6'4".
whoa!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where do you get that height from? Do you? I mean, you're
Well, he's
tall,
really
but you're
tall.
not
From a
6'4".
big
I'm only
family.
6'1".
Did you have are there other
No
family
tall,
members that are tall?
nobody that tall. I think my mother's father might have been that tall, but
Yeah. And plus, this is how it works. You're tall, so he gets the tall genes from you, but then it's more present day, like modern times, so he has better nutrition.
better nutrition.
Because in our day, I don't know about you,
Yeah.
I was eating Pop-Tarts,
Yeah.
things like Fruit Loops in the morning,
Yeah.
and I didn't
Yeah.
know. Jello Pops.
And when better nutrition, you grow taller.
you grow more. So that's what gave him the extra inches. I've seen a photo of this son. He should be a model. He's incredible. Watch out, world. There we go.
Oh wow!
I'm an actor.
If you can believe it, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
So here's what we got to know from you before we head out. We have to know what advice you would give to, maybe somebody starting out in the biz, someone who wants to act or
A young Ken.
or has a dream.
The advice I always give when asked this question
Okay.
is surround yourself with like-minded people and hang out with them all the time. And so create stuff with them, write fun stuff, make each other laugh. I mean, it all comes from what my experience was on the state, but I
Yeah.
and it's an extension of that. There are other people that I've created with, but if you're interested in performing or this business and being a filmmaker, what have you, writing, surround yourself with people who are interested in a variation of the same thing, and go out and eat with them, go have drinks with them, go to the park with them,
Yeah.
make each other laugh, and then start to create stuff. And
Yeah.
especially now, because you can create
Yeah.
anything on the
Yeah.
you can shoot anything on your phone, you can
Yep.
edit anything on your phone, and just
There's no excuse. If you
create
wanna
stuff
do
and
it,
put
you
it
can
out
do
there.
it.
Now
Yeah.
you can put it out there, and
Yeah.
But
very
here's the
easily.
question, to piggyback real quick.
Okay.
What if you're like, say, an aging menopausal woman?
Mm-hmm.
Should they still try, or should they just say, like, should they still create, or should they say, I'm going to go lock myself in a dark closet and die?
I think you should consistently, until you're no longer able to do it, surround yourself with like-minded people.
See?
It's
I
the
like
same
it.
answer.
Enjoy.
Well,
Yeah.
that's great. Some people don't like old ladies.
But
Surround yourself with other
this
old
is you do it not just yes, it's good to make money,
Right.
But like we do it because it's fun,
Yes.
right? So
If it's in your bones, it's in your bones.
so just keep doing it. Keep finding people, and that might change as you get older, right? Of like who to perform with or who to hang out with, but just keep making yourself and other people like laugh and have a good time, and then something creative will come out of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate prodigal son has come back here.
Oh wow.
Ken Marino!
Bringing it,
Thank you.
bringing it all the way around. Oh, you do a session of like bouncing and talking and doing that, and then if somebody wants to go, okay, now let me
I'm gonna go
Do you take
do
a
this.
pass out?
let me
Yes.
do a pass, and then you
Yeah.
can look at the pass, and we can talk about the
That
pass,
works for me,
or
too.
you can do a pass of that. But like, so you can have both.
I think
right?
so. Yeah. Multiple Talking Women is produced and hosted by Ariane Price, Lauren Burns, and Lisa Sherga. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on all podcast platforms, and become a member of our Patreon. All right, am I done?